Now, the Borderlands' first purpose-built Reiver Trail has just opened. It's been set up by local clans and takes in 8 sites in Dumfries and Galloway and the Borders.
Organisers say it's a huge boost for what's become known as roots tourism. They now want to extend it to other parts of the region. But first, they're recovering from a spectacular launch at Hermitage Castle in Liddesdale. Dark and brooding, it was called the guardhouse to the bloodiest valley in Britain. Hermitage Castle near Newcastleton is in the heart of reaving country.
So the great riding names were born, the Armstrongs and the Elliots.
Here were wild men, riders and raiders, Douglases, Scotts, Armstrongs, Elliots and more. 500 years on, these rather calmer 21st century reivers gathered to mark the opening of the UK's first Reiver Trail. Among them was the Elliot clan chief.
I represent all the border Reiver clans. I mean, there are Turnbulls and Carrs and Scotts and certainly Armstrongs. And the Armstrongs have been mostly concerned with this Reiver Trail, I understand, along with the Liddesdale Heritage Society. And Liddesdale is way overdue. We've got the most wonderful country here. We're thrilled with it, and we want to show it off to everybody else.
Well, I think it's just excellent. Anything that promotes the Reivers, the whole Reiver Trail, our history, our heritage, it's got to be good.
It's been lovely. It was difficult to know how this was going to how it was going to go, but the reenactment group was very good, and the weather was kind of typical because although it hasn't been particularly sunny, you know, this is typical Borders weather, and there was good gathering, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
The trail's been set up by local clans. It runs between the Clan Armstrong Trust Museum in Langham and the Liddesdale Heritage Centre in Newcastleton.
There was an enormous amount of history which took place in the Borders, and we want the people who are touring up from the south not to just go past the Borders and on their way to the Highlands. There's so much history here on our own doorstep, and we must take advantage of the Reivers. And this is a gateway. This is going to be an educational tool to teach people exactly what happened in the Borders.
The new Reiver Trail takes in 8 sites, including Hollow's Gilnockie Tower. Some say this was where the infamous Johnny Armstrong of Gilnockie lived. Lang Sandy Armstrong, based at Rowanburn. The Reiver Lang Sandy was hanged along with his 11 sons. And the Millom Cross. This was a monument to an Armstrong laird foully slain at nearby Hermitage Castle. Organisers now hope to extend the Reiver Trail to other parts of the borderland. They say history and roots tourism is one way to help rejuvenate the area. Very colourful event indeed.
It was, absolutely. Well, before we go to